Hello, Josh Childs, founder and CEO of Engaged. And today, I'm happy to share with you how you can use Engaged to monitor your online reputation. From review sites like Yelp, Voter Rated, Google Plus Local, to social media channels like Facebook and Twitter, or even mentions across blogs and news sites. But first, I want to share a little insight about Engaged. Engaged has a social media dashboard to help you manage the chaos of social media from one place. From Facebook to Twitter, to Google Plus to LinkedIn, to Instagram and YouTube, and even your blog, plus many more. You can even schedule your content to go out using our optimal publishing technology that will suggest the best times when you should post. I know that's a question that a lot of you have. When should I post on my Facebook page? When should I post on my Twitter account? Our technology helps to tell you, and it discovers that information based off of engagement. You can also monitor for conversations across your social media channels and engage directly on those different platforms from Engaged, all through the inbox. Engaged also has the capabilities of email marketing and text message campaigns. We even include templates to help make it easier for you to get started. And then, of course, the My Reports. We have many different reports to look at, from Facebook to Twitter to Google Plus to Instagram to many of the different platforms as well, including reports for your email campaigns or your text message campaigns. And then lastly, Engaged offers a social media management service. If you're not sure how to use social media for business, that's okay. There are many of you out there who are like that, which is why we offer a social media management service where we write the content for you. We engage your community. We set Facebook ad budgets to help grow your community and promote your content to targeted groups of people. We also use Facebook for proactive lead generation. So, back to our topic of conversation. How to use Engage to to monitor your reviews. Well, it's very simple. Once you log into your Engaged account, you want to go to Add and Edit Services. Now, once that loads, you'll want to click on Monitoring. Next, you want to click on Review and Monitoring. But first, let me tell you about the two other options that you have. One is Brand and Keyword Monitoring. This is where you can set up a keyword to monitor the entire social web for any mentions of that keyword. You can plug in your company name, so that way you're monitoring any mentions across the social media channels, across blogs, across news networks, for any mentions of that keyword, your company name. You can also use it to monitor your competition, or maybe you're thinking about carrying a new product. You can set up to monitor that product name and actually monitor on a localized level. You have options all the way down to a 1-mile radius, or all the way up to a 1,000-mile radius, where you can monitor to see if there's any conversations happening about that product you're thinking about selling. And then LinkedIn Group Discussion Monitoring. You can monitor LinkedIn group discussions for any mentions as well. But we're focusing on your reputation and specifically review sites. So by clicking on Review and Monitoring, you just click the Add button to the right-hand side. Next, you have several options, all of the different review sites that we are monitoring directly. You just plug in the URL. First, you have the option here for a description. This is where whatever you're going to monitor the reviews for, your company, for example, just plug in your company name. So our example here is Prince William Marina. So I'm just going to type in Prince William Marina. Now, the long list of different review sites that we can monitor directly here for you, you need to go find the URL on that site. So let's start with Yelp. So I already have the URL pulled up, but if not, you just go to yelp.com, and in the search box, just type in your company name and put your city in, and then Yelp will find your review or your site on their review. Now, if there are any reviews about you, you can see them while you're there, but the important thing is to grab the link at the top. So I'm just going to copy this link at the top. Now I'm going to go back to the Engage dashboard, and under Yelp, where it has the URL, I'm going to plug in, just paste the URL that I just copied. Now, the same thing applies for each one of these. Go down the list in each one that you want to monitor. Just go to that page in the search box, search for your company name, find your profile, and then copy the link and paste it into the dashboard. It's very simple. Let's use another one, for example. Let's use the Google Plus Local. So I'm going to pull up the Google Plus Local page, and I'm going to copy the URL. Now I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and for Google, paste it right in. So now, once we have gone through these different sites and plugged in the URL, then we have a couple of options. One, do we want to get an email notification about this? Now, every time a new review pops up on one of these sites that we're monitoring, it does go into the monitoring section in the dashboard, which I will show you here in a second. But you do have the option for emails alerts to come to your email inbox. So with the drop-down menu here, you have a few options. Number one is daily new posts. That means any new reviews, whether positive or negative or neutral, that we find across these sites, we will send you an email including that review. Now, that may be too much. Maybe your inbox is already as full as everyone else's, so you don't really need to know too much about like the positive or the neutral reviews that are out there. Maybe you would really like to have an email notification on the negative reviews, so you can address those as quickly as possible. So to do that, you can put daily new negative posts. So as soon as someone does post a negative review about your company, you're going to get that email notification on that day that lets you know, hey, there was a negative review written about you, and here's what it said, and here's where it was written. So then you can go back to the dashboard, you can see it there, you can also engage with it through the email by going back to the dashboard. So let's set that one up. So the next in the box down below that, this is where you want to put in your email address. Now, you can put in multiple email addresses here if you have multiple people who are interested in monitoring this. So maybe you are the manager, the owner of the company, you can plug in your email address, but maybe you have a social media manager who is responsible for managing your social media for you. You can plug in their email address too, so that way they get the email as well, and that way they can address it as quickly as possible. So once that is done, you click Save Settings. Now, once you click Save Settings, this takes about an hour to take effect for our system to go find any reviews that are currently out there and bring them back to the dashboard. So once it has been saved, click on Message Box in the upper left-hand corner, and then in the left-hand column, you'll see Monitoring. This is where you want to click, because any mentions for any of the sites that you're monitoring or any keywords that you have set up, or even the LinkedIn discussion monitoring, this is where all of that information is displayed. Now, it's broken up into two groups. Well, really three groups. Positive and negative are in the top chart for you to see, to give you a quick overview of what the content is. But then each individual post is going to have a little circle with a color. Gray, green, or red. Gray means neutral. Green means positive, and red means negative. Now, just to point out, if you do see one that is red and you do have a negative comment coming in, that doesn't necessarily 100% mean that it was a negative review. Most of the time, yes, that is what it means. However, sometimes maybe you asked a question, a public question somewhere across the web, and the right answer would be no for your question. Well, no is a negative keyword. So that may show up as a negative comment in here. So just because it's red, again, doesn't necessarily 100% of the time mean it's negative, but at least it does highlight it for you so that way you can look and make sure. Now, if it is negative, you'll want to take action against that as quickly as possible because you don't want negative reviews out about your company. So you do have some options from here to engage with that. First here, coming from Twitter, the top three came from Twitter, and you notice we set this up for Prince William Marina. Now, 3 of the posts are directly from Prince William Marina. That's because Prince William Marina mentioned their name, their company name, in 2 tweets and a Google Plus post for their upcoming event that they have. So even if you do mention your company name, and this is a good way for you to check and just make sure that the system is working, because it is, your information will actually be brought back into the content that you've shared out there. But if we scroll down past that, we will see a local news organization writing something about them. A blog post that was written about, actually that was mine. I was writing congratulations to the Prince William Marina team across Google+. And then here's some pictures that were uploaded from Picasa, and then of course another blog, Here's a tweet that maybe you would have never known about unless you were monitoring for it. This is a tweet. It says, "Beautiful day with a beautiful girl at Prince William Marina." Now, they didn't tag Prince William Marina's Twitter handle, so Prince William Marina would have never known, for example, that this tweet went out about him. So you can actually click the respond button here, and by clicking the respond button, that tweet is actually going to pull up. And same thing applies if it was a blog post or a review or anything of that nature. When you click the respond button, it's actually going to pull it up. So we see here that this was an Instagram photo that they had shared on Twitter, very publicly, mentioned the company's name right there, but the point is, we would have never known about it if we weren't monitoring. Imagine if that was negative. Imagine if they were talking about horrible service. You'd want to know about that, right? Of course you would. So I'm going to go ahead and click the back button there and go back to the dashboard. So as you can see there, many blog posts, many blog posts is what we found here for them. Now, here's another trick at the top here, the right-hand side. You get a drop-down menu where you can actually look specifically. If you set up the keyword monitoring, where you're monitoring specific keywords, you can monitor multiple keywords, by the way. That's the top option there. So we're monitoring mentions of Prince William Marina across the social web. And then next we have reviews, and again, Prince William Marina. So that's where we filled in, copied the URL, pasted the URL in for Yelp, for City Search, for any of the different Google Plus Local, for any of the different review sites that we're monitoring. When we plugged in the URL, that's what's displayed here. And again, it takes an hour for it to kind of filter through, find the results, and bring them back to you. But once it does, any reviews that it finds, it'll bring it in here for you. Then you also have one other option here, all keywords. So if you were monitoring multiple keywords, maybe for example for Prince William Marina, maybe we were monitoring their local boating community, the Potomac River or Lake Anna. Maybe those are keywords that we wanted to monitor for. Or maybe, they sell Sea Ray as their brand. Maybe we wanted to monitor any Chaparral mentions on a 20-mile radius from their location. We could do that and plug it in here and then find out what people are saying about that brand, Chaparral, which is their competition. So there are many different ways that you can use not only monitoring your online reputation, but monitoring the web for specific keywords are different things that you can use this for, which provides very valuable information. And of course, it's very easy for you to set up as well. So we just set this up. It hasn't been an hour yet. But we had Yelp actually set up a little while ago just to test this before we did our screen sharing here. And we found a Yelp review, 5 stars, thanking the team, great review, awesome. So if we wanted to go see it, we could click on the respond button. It's going to pull it up, it's going to load it, actually loads their profile on Yelp, and then we can actually scroll down and see that review and what that review said. Now, imagine if that review was negative. Gosh dog it, it would be nice to know, wouldn't it? It would be nice to know what people are saying about you. Well, you can by using Engaged to monitor your reputation. So to get started with Engaged, very simple. StartEngaging.com. Now, once you've gone to StartEngaging.com, you've got a couple options. Upper right-hand corner, you can click Demo to get a live demo one-on-one, you and I. We sit down together, we share screens so you can see what's happening. We'll walk you through the steps to get started. We'll walk you through the steps on how to start monitoring your online reputation so you know what people are saying about you online. Or you can go ahead and get started now by clicking Sign Up Now. And you can get started with a risk-free 14-day trial, no strings attached, no credit card required, and find out today what your customers are saying about you online. So again, StartEngaging.com. Either go ahead and sign up for a demo or go ahead and get started on your own. And even if you do get started on your own, you can contact us at any time and we can walk you through to help you get set up and make sure that you know what you're doing and you've got a good understanding about what you see there. So again, Josh Childs, founder, CEO of Engaged. I hope to hear from you soon because this is some powerful stuff that can really help you keep your reputation and your good name out there positive amongst the online community. So thank you for your time today. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.